After 9 years of Justin Trudeau, one of the most pressing concerns Canadians have is the state of the housing market and how unaffordable it has become.
It now takes 63% of median family income to own a home in Canada. That's much higher than the 30% that most financial experts consider affordable.
Numbers are stark. The reality is grim. A record number of people are experiencing homelessness in and around Metro Vancouver, the largest measured uptick since 2005.
This is what $1 million gets you in Toronto and in the Greater Vancouver area. It doesn't get you as much in Canada's most expensive cities.
I hear constantly from people who struggle with the ever-increasing costs fueling the dire housing situation. Housing costs, rent costs, and mortgage costs have all doubled under this NDP Liberal government. Things have gotten especially bad in British Columbia. In Vancouver, over 100% of the median household income is needed to cover housing costs. The Okanagan has also seen huge housing cost increases. Where it used to take 5 to 7 years to save up for the average home in Canada, it now takes over 25 years. A recent survey said almost 70% of young Canadians now see owning a home as totally unattainable during their lifetime. This is the reality after 9 years of Justin Trudeau's inflationary deficit spending and tax increase policies. Even worse, the housing crisis has hit our most vulnerable the hardest. Since Justin Trudeau was elected in 2015, homelessness has increased by 38%. In Vancouver, homelessness has increased by 32% in the last 3 years alone, and we see this around the country. 10 cities have sprung up as a result of this crisis. In our community and across Canada, people are finding themselves with nowhere to go due to the housing crisis and high costs. In Toronto alone, there are now over 250 homeless encampments. We heard that the primary reason for homelessness is due to affordability and the cost of living crisis at our housing committee.
Homelessness is a housing affordability problem. It's driven by high rent and low vacancy.
After 9 years of this NDP Liberal government, we now hear families are living in RVs at highway rest stops. I questioned many experts at the Housing Committee, the committee which I serve on, around the issues of affordability, homelessness, and how the federal government's plans are working. Have you seen any of the following: extension of construction timelines, projects being put on hold or cancelled, and housing starts decreasing?
Short answer is yes.
Is this the worst housing affordability that you've seen in your career?
Yes, in my career, yes.
When it comes to achieving goals for home building and meeting targets to increase affordability, there is great concern. Time after time, experts pointed conclusively to signs that the Liberal government is nowhere close to building the homes they've promised they would. Claims were made in Liberal Budget 2024 that they will build 3.87 million homes by 2031, or about 550,000 homes per year. So for every day of the year for the next 7 years, that's completing 1,515 homes each day, or one home every 57 seconds. So given what builders are saying, how realistic is this?
Not a chance.
Again and again, we heard from experts that NDP Liberal policies have spent more money to achieve less results. Housing starts are down across the country by 9%, with multi-unit starts down 11%. Despite spending billions, the Liberals have achieved nothing but costly photo ops and broken promises. Canada needs a change. Conservatives know that to fix the housing crisis, we need to build more homes. We've offered solutions by removing the bureaucratic gatekeepers that have slowed construction and made housing unaffordable. Conservatives are also against tax increases, which we've heard from experts at the Housing Committee will impede investment in home building.
Higher capital gain taxes will have a negative effect on home building for sure.
In contrast to Justin Trudeau, Conservatives will build the homes Canada needs by not increasing taxes and using a simple mathematical formula to provide funding that rewards home building and punishes gatekeeping, and to sell off federal land to build on. Disappointingly, but Unsurprisingly, the NDP Liberals voted against the Conservative Build Homes Not Bureaucracy Act. Despite this, Conservatives will continue this work so that Canadians can house themselves. A Poilievre-led Conservative government will prioritize these measures so renters and aspiring homebuyers, many of whom have said they've lost hope of ever owning their own home, can once again fulfill their dream of owning a home, just like past generations could. As Canadians continue to suffer from this housing crisis, my Conservative colleagues and I on the Housing Committee have tried to force committee members to keep meeting over the summer so we can continue to work on this crucial file. Disappointingly, the Liberals, with the support of the NDP and Bloc, voted to dismiss my request and adjourn.
Mr. Fargas-Caros?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yep.
Mr. Coteau?
Yes.
Mr. Van Bynen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gray?
No?
Mrs. Falk?
Nope.
Miss Ferrari? No. Mr. Aitchison?
No.
Madame Chabot?
Oui.
Ms. Zarrillo?
Yes.
Yeas pour 7-7, nays contre 4-4.
Despite the unseriousness of the Liberals and the other parties supporting them, Conservatives remain committed to putting in the work to solve this issue. Conservatives know that more must be done to address the housing crisis that has grown so out of control under Justin Trudeau and his NDP partners. My Conservative colleagues and I put forward common sense plans to cut the taxes and build the homes so Canadians can afford to house themselves. Let's bring it home.